This is the 2026 Toyota RAV4 Plug-in Hybrid, and this one I'm driving is the GR Sport, hence this badge behind my head. We'll get into the details of this one in just a little bit. I'm still not sure how I feel about it because, yeah, it is kind of cool, but it's also kind of extra. Anyways, let's focus on the important points, which is the fact that this has been totally overhauled. The structure, the powertrain, the infotainment, you name it. It is new in this 6th generation of the RAV4, and I gotta say, it is very good. And the RAV4 has always been good. No, it's not an exciting vehicle, and that's still the case here, even with this GR Sport version. But as far as reliability, sensibility, efficiency, space, you can't really do much better than this. Now, we should also talk about the fact that the RAV4 lineup is now hybrid only, whether it's the conventional hybrid version or this plug-in. The conventional hybrid, built in Canada for the Canadian market. This plug-in hybrid is still made in Japan. I could see that changing sometime down the road, but for now we are still getting Japanese-made versions of the RAV4 plug-in, and that is perfectly fine. We should also talk about the fact that the powertrain is just the latest generation of Toyota's plug-in hybrid. It still uses a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder with dual electric motors under the hood, one that recharges the battery and the other one that drives the wheels. And then this uses an all-wheel drive system, so there is a third electric motor at the back that powers the rear wheels alone. It's disconnected from the rest of the powertrain. Of course, it's fed by the same battery, but it is a very good system. The battery pack is bigger this time. Output is up from both the electric motor as well as the gas engine, and this powertrain is vastly improved. Not only is it punchier when you get your foot down, but it sounds better too. Now, no, it doesn't sound good, but it doesn't sound as kind of raw and strained as it did before. I really think that Toyota nailed it where it matters most in just improving the overall package here. Now, the 4-cylinder on its own makes 183 horsepower and 172 pound-feet of torque. And then when you add in the electric side of the powertrain, net output jumps to 324 horsepower. That is a lot, and this thing is very quick. Whether you're passing slower traffic or climbing a hill like this one, there is no sense that this is underpowered at all. And don't get me wrong, the last one wasn't underpowered, but this is just that much better. It still works with the continuously variable transmission, but the operation is very good. It's seamless, it's smooth, it sounds better. I mean, I actually like driving this thing, not just this GR Sport. I was driving the XSE earlier with the technology package, very good. Also rides on 20-inch wheels, just like this one. Suspension tuning is very good. Now, in this GR Sport, it is a little stiffer, but it's not uncomfortable. I mean, it does get a little bit noisy on this very rough pavement out here in Quebec, but smoothness, pretty solid. The steering feel is okay too. I mean, I do have it in sport mode right now just for a little bit more resistance because I prefer that, but I know a lot of people don't, especially in this segment. If you're buying a crossover like this, you're not looking for something that is fun to drive. You're looking for something that's efficient, which this RAV4 plug-in does. But that gets us to the fun to drive part. In this GR Sport, it's a bit puzzling because I do think it looks cool, but it also is a little extreme. The spoiler on the back, that big gaping grille. I mean, it's kind of cool that it looks like the GR Corolla, but I do wonder what the market is for something like this. I think that's a question for you guys. Is there appeal in this? Could you see yourself driving this GR Sport, or would you be happier with the XSE or the SE trim that sits at the bottom of the lineup? Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Which is the best trim if money is no object, which is another subject we will get to shortly. Now, the battery pack is bigger this time. It's 22.7 kilowatt hours versus 18 and change last time around. And that means more range, but also more range because the powertrain is better. It uses a smaller power control unit. It uses silicon carbide. It's just a better system overall. And range 79 kilometers on a full charge for this GR Sport, as much as 89 kilometers if you go with that SE, and then the XSE lands somewhere in between. If you get the XSE with the technology package, which makes it the most expensive version of the RAV4 plug-in, you do get DC fast charging. up to 50 kilowatts of DC fast charging speed, and it means the 10 to 80% jump takes, I don't know, something like half an hour. The same old song and dance that you get with fast charging. Kind of cool. A little strange that it's reserved only for that technology package, but hey, that's how Toyota upsells you. If you want the good stuff, you are going to have to pay. Now, in terms of fuel efficiency, also improved over the last one. Official numbers, they fall somewhere between 5.7 and 6.7 combined, depending on trim. Of course, this GR Sport that has some unique powertrain tuning is going to burn more gas than the SE. That one's the one that's rated for 5.7 combined. But earlier in that XSE with technology package, driving around here in Quebec, we headed down to 4.9 liters per 100 kilometers, which is pretty impressive. That makes it just about as efficient as the conventional hybrid. And Toyota's always done a really good job of that because that's not always the case. Plug-in hybrids tend to burn a bit more gas than conventional hybrids once their batteries are depleted. Toyota's always done better than most, and that's definitely true with this new RAV4. And speaking of new, we should talk about this infotainment system. It's pretty good. It's an in-house developed system. It's called Arene or something weird like that. Anyways, it's an all new architecture, over-the-air updates. It's got wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto connectivity. I do wish there were more physical controls, but I really like this bank of shortcuts on the left-hand side of the screen. So you can reach over and click this one, and it's gonna pull up plug-in related information. And then you can quickly navigate back to Apple CarPlay or whatever else you want on your screen. It's a nice system. This digital instrument display is also pretty good, and you can switch the views, including a map view. I like it a lot. Overall, the cabin, I don't know, it's a little underwhelming. There's lots of hard plastics in here that I don't necessarily love. I do like that this GR Sport has a little bit more to get excited about, but I think Toyota could have gone further, could have done some, I don't know, red around these vents or something to make it stand out that much more. Anyways, now let's get into pricing, which is a bit of a touchy subject these days. Lots of people looking to stretch their budgets as much as possible, and that's not necessarily going to be the case here. Although if you were looking at total cost of ownership, including fuel cost, well, that's where this thing is going to shine. So you were going to pay anywhere from $51,000 to $61,000 before tax, but including freight for this RAV4 plug-in. That is a lot of money, especially next to the conventional hybrid version. It is important to note that this is cheaper than the last one to start by a few grand. It's nice to see Toyota tightening up that price structure just a little bit, but it is a significant jump to go from the cheapest conventional hybrid version to the cheapest plug-in. And then you have that XSE at the top of the lineup with the technology package at 61 grand or so. That does put it just a hair over the price of this GR Sport, which is, I don't know, somewhere around 60 grand, I think. It is a lot of money, but again, if you are commuting and you are charging the battery at home as often as possible, there's a good chance you could not burn any gas all week long. The system is very good, whether you have it in EV mode or in this auto mode where it'll choose whether it needs to be in hybrid or electric, depending on the situation. But it is very smart, and it does lean heavily towards the electric side of the powertrain, which means that you could do your commute without burning a drop of gas. Maybe plug in at work and you are going to save even more, and that's where the appeal comes in. I still really like the conventional hybrid version, and I do like the fact that it's made in Canada, but it is hard to go wrong with what was already an impressive plug-in hybrid, and it's even more so now in this new generation.